They've done it. They've finally done it. Automation has finally added superchargers and twin charging and some other cool stuff, but we're focusing today on superchargers. This is just a quick video to go over what's been added and just some of the cool stuff that I noticed. And yeah, I mean, let's just enjoy it. This is a good moment. If you're wondering how to get into this, here's a screenshot. Basically, in Steam, right-click on the game, open up betas, and switch to the beta, and you're good. Okay, one of the first things I've noticed about this alpha build, it's not even a beta, is that cloning cars doesn't work. It just creates errors, so we're gonna have to make something brand new. Oh wow, that's new already. Sandbox car, year, this is cool. I like this kind of stuff. And the ability to AI generate it right out of the gate. Nice menu. Things have definitely changed, but this is not the important stuff. Let's get to the real deal. Oh, you can also AI generate engines separately, which is cool. That is a new feature as well. Again, there's a bunch of new stuff. Lua error immediately, that's always good to see. This is the day after the patch came out. It actually came out last night, but then I saw in my Discord that people were having issues, so we're going to try to avoid those kind of issues. I think there has been at least one fix since then. That being said, let's do it. Inline 4, just for the sake of it. We don't need to get crazy here because what we want is a little bit further in. Look at the extra stuff going on here. This is cool. Okay, skipping through the engine stuff, and we finally get to the thing that you want to see. This is the stuff that I've been excited about for a long time. The reason I haven't made an automation video in a while, at least not like a pure automation video, is because I have been patiently waiting for the superchargers, and here they are. Right, we need to add a couple more things before we can see it, including fuel. We're going to give it direct injection with a single intake, and that will let us hopefully, I don't know, just, there we go. There's a supercharger. Supercharger in-game, this is no mod or anything like that. And not only do we have superchargers, but we have different types as well. We have roots, centrifugal, screw. It's cool. This is very cool. My favorite part about this build is that it's not just superchargers. Superchargers by themselves, great, very cool. Obviously updates to the game as well. I haven't read the patch notes, I don't actually know what's in the game. But turbos and stuff are the same as they were, but now we have sequential turbos, compound turbos, twin charging. Yes, please. This is just cool stuff, even if it's a bit jank. So here we can go for a, well, okay, we can't do a centrifugal supercharger with a turbo, unfortunately. Twin charged engines can only use roots type superchargers. Unfortunate. I was hoping to do centrifugal supercharger and a regular turbo as well. It's just weird, but it's cool. With this though, we can also do multiple different styles of turbos. Looks like we're stuck with one for a 4-cylinder, but it would be fun to be able to do supercharged twin turbo. I want to see that in something else. But now with all this stuff, I mean, we have the ability to tune each of these separately, which is just crazy. Like now we have to tune the turbos and the superchargers to align with each other. I can see why you would want to be hitting this button right here. That's probably the best place to start, but it's just cool. Now, if I go for like a race header, it gives us a better look at what's going on, although it's in the block, which is unfortunate. Yeah, we'll just go for that just because it looks a little bit more realistic, but very, very cool stuff. So that's what it looks like on an inline engine. What about a V6? Oh, now this is cool too. The models are just nice. Very, very cool to see, although that is strange. It's not in the valley. It's not sitting on the valley. It's like transported in. I want to see if we can change that. Twin turbo and supercharged is possible on V-shaped engines. That is nuts. So cool. It doesn't fit in this crappy Jeep that I made, but it's cool as heck. I cannot get over the twin-charged twin turbo engine. I am definitely going to need to make something like this. All boost possible. Look, go into the supercharger, just turn up the boost limit. Go into the turbo, or turbos, turn up the boost limit. 72 psi on the turbos, another 30 coming from the supercharger. How to explode an engine 101. This is going to be fun. Okay, backing things up a little bit. Let's try 8 cylinders and yikes. those turbos are so close to the side of the block. I think that, I mean, it's almost like EcoBoost turbos, but I think that maybe that's an issue where they're just not pulled away far enough. It looks cool. So there definitely are some weird behaviors going on with this kind of setup, as you might expect being an alpha. Oh my goodness. Throw the 2 turbos in the bin. We got 4 turbos now. Quad turbo supercharged. Can we add another supercharger? May I please add a second supercharger? This is just beautiful in its own way. Wow. I never thought I would see the day when we get quad turbo twin charging. My life is complete. Okay, let's just make those turbos like... Oh, the supercharger is huge now, but let's just make the turbos as big as possible. Yes, please. Please and thank you. So the supercharger, if you increase the size of it, I mean, it's 6 liters right now. You can make a tiny, tiny supercharger and like have it be so small. And I guess that's why this is so jank here, because this is only, I mean, unless the intake is all right here, it's only feeding 4 cylinders. The model's a little like a little bit off, but making it huge, I don't know, man. They're not going to be able to fix this geometry to be perfect because there's just so much going on. Quad turbo supercharging. Okay, this is 60 degrees. What about 90 degrees? Puts it right in the valley. That's what I've been missing the whole time. 90 degrees gives us superchargers in the valley. So there's multiple different configurations for this. That's so cool. Oh man, Corvette ZR1, here we come. Like, that is exactly where I wanted this. So V8, and then switching back over to aspiration. Twin turbo V8 and supercharged. These are the biggest turbos you can get. That is mental. If we just go supercharged, then we can probably see some different types. The intercooler. Oh my goodness. Wow. That bend. Okay, centrifugal supercharger is like really, really tiny. There we go. That's a big one. And then screw type again. Man, it's just so cool. I wonder how this stuff sounds. Like, this has got to be a mental sounding engine. It's not even going to fit in the car, but we got to try it. Okay, it's a 1 liter, basically 1.15 liter V8, and that's the only way I can get it to fit with the supercharger. Terrible vehicle choice on my part, but let's just kind of see how this sounds. I'm going to skip ahead. Here we go, here we go. It's not even slightly tuned. Actually, we should probably just tune it for power and just see how it goes. Error. Uh-oh. I was unable to tune it. 86 Newton meters, 75 horsepower. Okay, it doesn't matter. We're interested in noise. Okay. Okay. Never mind. We'll come back to that. So, do V10s have the option to go for a quad turbo setup? I hope so. I really hope so. That is a massive V10. 45 liters. Okay, there's something wrong with the game. That is a huge... 45 liters? Is that a train engine? I'm just sitting and taking that in. Okay, we'll just pretend I didn't see that for now. I basically want to make the craziest, biggest engine that I can, and I'm not even using quality sliders here. Twin charged, 2 turbos. Okay, so we're stuck with 2 on the V10s. But we do have that sweet, sweet supercharger in the valley. See, that begs the curiosity. 73 liters. 73 liters? Basically 75 liters. This is a tank engine. Boys, you have never seen something like this before in your life. That is a 60 liter supercharger. 60 liter supercharger. Massive turbos. This is a V16. This is probably the biggest engine that you can make in the game based on my new understanding of physics. That is bananas. 60 liter supercharger. I'm speechless. The geometry does not make any sense. Nothing really makes any sense at all. Like, what kind of power does this make? We're not even going to be able to tell because it's not going to fit in any car because it's so big. But like, what's the point of this thing? Okay, I've switched over to just the engine designer to basically eliminate the car problem. And I want to just tune it for power. I think that this is, yeah, it's going to give me an error because it has a bunch of problems, as you might be able to tell. But it's not going to give us any power numbers because this thing is jank and totally broken. I'm wondering, quality sliders are probably not going to save it. Full turbo, full everything is just not going well for this vehicle. However, an insane engine by all metrics. Absolutely crazy engine. Okay, so it makes right out of the gate 500 RPM, 11,500 Newton meters. I am going to, after this, try to play around with this because it's going to take a while to figure out these issues and just see how we can get these thresholds higher because it's going to explode the engine every chance it can get. There is not much you can do to make that better other than hack the game, I guess. Just out of curiosity, naturally aspirated, tune it for power. I just want to see what the engine of this size, no, it can't do it. It makes 7,252 Newton meters. Oh my goodness. Okay, last thing on the list is boxer engines. We don't need to see this stuff. Wow, that is a funky looking intake on there. That is really quite a cool intake, in fact. Let's skip ahead and go over to turbos. Twin charged. The supercharger right in the valley of this thing here. And then again, 2 turbos. I like what I see. The way that this is set up is so jank looking, but it's just cool. This is just such a cool new update, and I'm so excited to play with this more. But I mean, hopefully you enjoyed just a quick look at what's going on. I don't have a ton of time, that's why I'm just like forcing this out, but man, we gotta play with that 75 liter V16 at some point. There's something wrong with the game to let me do that. This sucker is 28 liters. 28 liter boxer engine. Like, the only thing I can think of, I mean, there's nothing I can think of that would have an engine that big. Maybe an airplane, like a boxer engine on a plane, but it's probably not going to be 28 liters. Man, we're going to be making cruise ships and automation next. It's just so cool to see some updates to the game, even if they're jank, even if they're not quite what we expect. I just love seeing this game updated, and hopefully you do too. So check it out. Definitely go see what there is to see with this update. Get on the alpha, break the game, and then do some bug reports so we can get this thing down. And then hopefully soon everybody will have access. Guys, until then, thank you for watching. I'll see you again soon.